Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Eliza Effect. I am Eliza, this is my channel. I am going to do another twofer today. So if you haven't seen my last twofer reaction, I reacted to Ren's song Dear God followed by Dax's song Dear God in the same video. I thought it was kind of cool. It made it for a longer reaction video, but it's kind of cool to compare. And as I finished the song Depression, spoiler alert, as I finished the song Dear God by Dax, a recommended video popped up from Dax that was called Depression, and I know Ren's song Depression already, so I was like, maybe I'll check that out next time. So that's what I'm going to do today. I won't lie, the vibe's a little different today, the vibe's a little off, but that's okay. I'm here, and I'm not going to get on here and be like, meh, so I'm here. Let's do it. Let's listen to Depression. It's fitting, right? It's fitting. Anyways, so without further ado, this will probably be just a little bit different kind of reaction, and that's okay with me. If that's okay with you, you can stick around. I don't know how I'll respond. I've heard Depression already, and it's gotten me a few times. And right now, I know Ren's struggling more than usual, and right now I'm struggling a little bit more than usual. And so these lyrics just might hit different today. We shall see. Grab the Kleenex. I'm just joking. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So without further ado, we're going to listen to Ren's song Depression first, and then we're going to listen to Dax's version of Depression. Let's fucking go.
My thought patterns are composed by a time bomb for an author, like pigs to the slaughter. A symphony of self-doubt sings out, breath starts getting shorter. Running water is the state that I wish to become. Instead, concrete envelops my movement and I'm rendered deaf and dumb, unable to heed the advice of others. Don't tell me things will get better, cause so far things haven't gotten better.
I've heard this before, so I'm curious. That little beep beep right there, like it almost sounds like a heart monitor at a hospital or something like that. And just knowing that Ren was just in A&E, is that what you guys call it over there? I think the emergency room for his sickness, and that he's not doing great right now. It's just sad. So just send some good healing energy to Ren and everybody else struggling with these kind of things.
Don't tell me things will get better, cause so far things haven't gotten better. I've got the sweater, poster child, bipolar, ADHD, therapist, wet dream. I don't want to talk about my father, I don't want to talk about my dead friend, I don't want to talk about myself. I'm sick of talking about myself. I'm sick of talking about myself and realizing that talking about myself never ever helps. Still, I call for help, cause I really want help. But the pills didn't seem to help, and the therapist didn't seem to help. But still, I want help. I've danced with the devil in hell. I've sat in a prisonless cell, and here I always dwell, in this prison in myself. I do this thing where my mind travels back to the golden age. You know those times where you were carefree and everything was golden? The golden age. You know those times where everything was golden, where you were carefree and everything was golden? The hardest thing I ever had to do was come to terms with the fact that that time never really existed.
Okay. I don't know how to react to this. Like, I really don't. Usually I'm really very like, ooh, and this is a tough one. And so I don't really have all that much to say while it's going on. So if I am quiet throughout the rest of it, I'm sorry. I'm taking it in, and we will gather my thoughts at the end because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's so much I could say. I'm gonna hold it until the end.
Come to terms with the fact that that time never really existed. I've always felt so fucking detached.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. They put their names on arenas,
on a Ren video.
we put ours on.
I'm broken,
Whatever, it's
bruised,
fine.
and mismatched.
All right, let's take this back. Sorry, guys.
I've always felt so fucking detached. I'm broken, bruised and mismatched. Find it hard to relax, living under the cracks. Tried to fill in the gaps, lying here on my back. Still, I can't find it. Sense of peace in my mind declined it. Pulse increase and my sweat combines with a feeling so deep I fall inside it. Depression, I hate you, depression. Your constant oppression, respond with aggression. They say depression brings you lessons. Constant stressing conceals blessings. You will grow in broken settings. Fuck those lessons, fuck depression. I've been living in your shadow for so long that I forgot how I can shine. How I can find a refuge in my mind. How am I meant to sit here and unwind? The planets align, I feel like I'm cursed. Feel like I'm cursed to just be here to hurt. Feel like I'm cursed to just be here to bleed with my demons. Been feeling this way since birth. Depression, I hate you. 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 Depression, I hate you.
Yeah, guys, I'm sad. I'm sad today. I'm sorry. Depression is such a little cunt. I hate it. I hate it for me. I hate it for you. I hate it for the people who have people in their life that have depression that they then also just are burdened with. And I hate to call it a burden, but it is to me anyway. It feels like a burden to me. When I feel depressed, I feel like a burden. And like Rin says in this song, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about that. I'm tired of talking about myself. Because at some point you're like, what am I going to sound like? I probably sound like this big old victim. Like, man, I'm so depressed. Talking about everything that makes you depressed. And sometimes it's like, you just are, and you don't have the energy and you don't want to talk about it anymore, but you do want help and you still reach out and repeat until you heal, So I don't know the answers. I'm not a therapist. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know why the heck you're listening to me, but so don't take my advice. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that song is tough. That's a tough one to listen to. Any song where Ren, gets emotional like that in there, it's really hard. But when he's bawling there at the end, like, fuck you, depression, I hate you. I have been in my car on the way to work with that song playing, also crying and saying, fuck you, depression, I hate you, depression. Because it's just such a hard thing. It's just such a hard thing. So my heart is with you so much. I love you. And, oh yeah, we have another one. So, okay, we're not done yet. Now I'm going to react to Dax's song Depression. And I have not seen or heard that before. The only song that I've heard of his is Dear God that I listened to last time, which was great. So I'm excited to listen to Dax again. Let's go. We'll see if I can make it through this one without crying. I haven't cried yet, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with crying. Okay, if you need to cry, freaking cry. If I need to cry, I'm gonna cry. So you know what? No promises. Crying is healthy, okay? We're still strong. We're still...
I can't find myself. I get lost inside.
Got Truman vibes. Everybody's watching him.
I can't find myself. I get lost inside my brain. Think I might need help, but I pushed all them away. I took the cards they dealt, and there's nothing I can change. So when I'm by myself, I just pray for brighter days. Sometimes I sit and I reminisce about the good times. Wish I could get those back. I keep on running these races that go in my mind. and they go on these tracks. I'm not ready to erase all my memories. I fight depression and I let it get the best of me. Now there's nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Look around, there's liquor.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Like how everybody's watching and they're like, and it does feel like that sometimes. You're like, Bryn said it too. Am I cursed? Am I cursed with this? Like, is the world just fucking watching me and laughing at me? Is somebody messing with me right now? That's how I feel sometimes too.
Now there's nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Look around, there's liquor bottles all on the floor, filling up the space inside my heart and my home, drowning out these thoughts until they leave me alone. I can't find myself.
That's actually a really cool shot of him. Like, it looks like he's like in the back of a car, and it looks like water is just slowly, like he's just getting, you know.
These thoughts until they leave me alone. I can't find myself. I get lost inside my brain. Think I might need help, but I pushed all them away. I took the cards they dealt, and there's nothing I can change. So when I'm by myself, I just pray for brighter days. These thoughts are draining all my energy. I try to tell them the guy, they said I'm going insane, and then they recommended therapy. And I go and talk to a man who's getting paid to explain. He started saying that the chemical imbalance is the reason that my brain ain't connecting to accomplishments associated with moving on in life and past the things that my heart cannot contain. So the happiness won't sustain. And he read me my options. He said, here goes a pill, only take 2 to eat a meal, and it'll numb how I feel.
I'm a little spiritual baddie, and I repeating numbers mean things to me. And I paused it at 222, which is just, you know, that's a sign that for me, okay, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But a good place to pause it is, long story short. Anyways, what I was going to say is this is very similar. It's giving the vibe of where, like in Sick Boy with Ren, how the girl's across from the table and she's like, take another pill here, take a couple more. You'll be feeling worse and the side effects will show, that whole thing. It's kind of the same vibes. He's saying the therapist is paid to tell him what to do, and the therapist is, everyone's watching that therapist and everyone around him is seeing, they all know how it works, but he's supposed to ask them for help, but they know it's, I'm getting off track here. Anyways, it's just a really hard place to be when you feel like everyone around you is not understanding, or maybe they're behind the scenes on things like this. Like, it's a very isolating and lonely place to be, is my point. Okay.
Here goes a pill, only take 2 to eat a meal, and it'll numb how I feel. I can't find myself. I get lost inside my brain. Think I might need help, but I pushed all them away. I took the cards they dealt, and there's nothing I can change. So when I'm by myself, I just pray for brighter days. Should I drown all these thoughts or should I leave them to float? I've got all of my flaws living inside of this boat. I've been anchored in pain, the weight is making me choke. It's getting harder to breathe, it's pulling right.
The way he wraps up his pain and weight and heaviness all into drowning and water and him filling up is very, very artistic. I'm very into it. Also, I will say, when they gave him the pills and he said something about, you know, they'll make him feel numb. And to me, yeah, okay, the chemical imbalance in the brain is a thing, and sometimes you do need medication. I'm on medication. I will openly say I'm on medication. I don't mind. It's fine when you need it and whatever. But the idea that it just numbs the pain is kind of interesting, because do we want to numb the pain? Or do we want to be able to somehow go within and address that pain and heal from the root of that pain? And do these pills suppress that with whatever they're doing up in there? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. These are just my thoughts out loud.
I've been anchored in pain, the weight is making me choke. It's getting harder to breathe, it's pulling right at my throat. I've been hoping for change, but don't know how to restart. They say you ain't a man when you exposing your heart. Then they say you insane until it tears you apart. And then it cuts you so deep and they can tell by the scars. We can only see change when we accept who we are. Try to run from the shame and you won't never get far. Don't you bottle the pain and live your life in the dark. You're meant to break from those chains and shine as bright as a star. Don't you ever tell yourself that your depression is the reason you won't make it, or that happiness is not in your cards. With our God, you can beat all the odds. Keep your faith and you'll never be lost. And say, I can't find myself. I get lost inside my brain. Think I might need help. But I pushed off, never no way. I took the cards they dealt, and there's nothing I can change. So when I'm by myself, I just pray for brighter days.
What's in there? Is it all the people that are working behind the scenes watching them? I don't know. Wow. Well, I do kind of, that one had a little bit of a happier ending, and a little bit in like the way where he's like, when I'm by myself, and it's showing him there by himself really fighting, and there's all these people around him that are like supposed to be helping him, but when you're really like in the trenches, if you have other people, that's great. If you don't, and you feel like you come to a point where nobody understands you, because how could they really, right? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But when you are in the thick of it and you have to rely on you to pull yourself through, that is a really hard spot. And I think that if you haven't bawled your eyes out screaming, fuck you, depression, or fuck you, whatever, I hate you, whatever, I hate you, depression. If you haven't bawled your eyes out and or, you know, however you deal with it, however you're dealing with it, if you haven't hit that moment of like, fuck, and then you've been able to turn that around and try to head back the other way ever, first of all, I'm fucking proud of you. That shit's not easy. Second, what an empowering feeling when that does happen. And I sure hope that one day we can all be there. So anyways, this was an interesting reaction. I'm sorry if it was a downer, but I mean, I don't know, how hyped are we going to get about depression, to be honest? So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and let me know if I need to do another twofer, because that would be fun. Otherwise, I think I'm going to react to some Falling in Reverse, because I've had a lot of requests. So that will probably be what's next. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you next time.